What up, y'all? St. Pete. I was doing some research today at work, and because that's what I do. I don't really listen to music. I just listen to lectures and audiobooks, and you know, I've been doing this for over 10 years now. Just taking in data every day. Um, Today I was listening to Freeman at freemantv.com, best podcast on the internet, and he was talking about some things, and it connected a lot of dots for me. But so the first thing I want to talk about is fun facts. Fun facts. You could look it up. I posted a clip from a DoD presentation a while ago, but it still should be on the internet. I think it is. But anyway, you could see it in the scientist, or the presenter is saying how they've done studies on people, and they'll have the people read religious texts, and they'll see what parts of the brain light up. Right? So they were developing a weapon for the Muslim population, and the idea was to release a respiratory sickness in the air, and that would actually quiet the part of the brain that is stimulated from religious texts, which is, you could say, it's numbing out your connection with your higher self, with God. So that was something that they were actually doing as a weapon to make the Muslim population less radical or whatever, right? So let's keep that in mind, right? So you got the first two babies grown in a lab, two girls grown in a lab, called Lulu and Nana. And they were an experiment on encoding immunity to HIV into them as when they were cells, and encoding that so that they be immune to HIV. They basically, they have enhanced cognitive ability and memory. Immediately reminded me of Minority Report with the precogs. If you've never seen that movie, you should go and see that immediately, because Hollywood does one of three things. They tell you what's happening, what has happened, and what's going to happen. And that's where we're headed with pre-crimes, and that's what Minority Report is all about. But the precogs in there is what, made me think of this. So you got this Lulu and Nana was created by CRISPR technology. It's gene editing technology. Essentially, they're playing with God. They're playing like they're God. And this is what I've been saying, that they think they're God. They think that they're God. CRISPR has created human hybrids where they actually want to grow human organs within a goat and then harvest the organs out of the goat for the human, kidneys, liver type things. They've combined cat and jellyfish, and the cat glows in the dark. You do it with goats and spiders, so that the goat would spit out the spider web out of it, because that spider web is like the strongest fiber known. And this is what CRISPR is. All right, so keep CRISPR in mind, right? So the Lulu people in ancient Sumeria, they were part Cro-Magnon and part Anunnaki, right? They were created by the Anunnaki as slave labor, and in the Enuma Elish. I think that's the epic. I'm almost positive. But so they created that species, the Anunnaki, the Lulu, and they couldn't reproduce. They couldn't reproduce. So they ended up recreating in the story. They created another race, and some would say that some have said that that's when they created the Eves, the Adam and the Eves. Adam and Eve shouldn't be looked at as a person. It shouldn't be looked at as an individual. It should be looked at as races, and races of people. And the Bible is written in so many codes. Whether it's written, you look at it from a Kabbalist perspective, or the numerology in it, the gematria in it. The Bible is can't be read taken literally. Some things can be taken literally, but for the most part, the stories in there are encoded, and there's really, really deep stories hidden within that. Or that's what some say, that then they created the Eves and the Adams. Nana is a lunar deity identified with birth in Sumer. So you got the Lulu, baby from CRISPR, Lulu and Nana, made by CRISPR, who can't reproduce, they're sterile. And then you have, in the Sumerian story, the Anunnaki created the Lulu people that couldn't reproduce. That's crazy, right? That this is where their mind is at. This is who you're dealing with. That's why I say the further back in history you could go, the further into the future you can see, because you'll see the patterns. You'll see stuff like this. You'll see the names that you'll see stuff that went on thousands of years ago, living out today, right? So, oh man, it just gets better. So, Luciferase. I'm trying to pronounce it here. I'll put it in the description. You can look it up yourself. Sounds like Lucifer, right? It doesn't necessarily mean evil, but they use that word. Lucifer means the light bringer, right? So this is the bonding agent that allows to combine the DNA in this CRISPR technology. Luciferase is the bonding agent that allows to combine the DNA. It's nanotechnology that will actually illuminate in your body. If you have it in you, I think it is like they hold a light over it and they can see that you have it in you. It'll shine blue, but check it out yourself. Now, Biden's head of technology and science is Eric Lander. And he's been given a position in the cabinet and made part of the administration. And he was head of CRISPR, or a part of CRISPR. And he wrote a real controversial work on it. But Eric Lander is involved in gene splicing, right? This is real crazy. That this is the guy that we're getting our science from. Trust the science. This is the science. This is the guy who's, putting out the science out there. And this is the technology. This is the technology I've been telling you all about that's going to be unveiled. It's being unveiled. This is all public information. That's what the jab is. Well, the mRNA jab. It's gene therapy. You gotta remember, this ain't approved by the FDA. The FDA has not approved this. Not to say that they're really worth anything, but the fact that they haven't, and now we're hearing about how the menstrual cycles, I hear, and maybe, that menstrual cycles and women are getting thrown off. It's interesting too. Like I said, we're going back to this genetic manipulation that went on in Sumer and Lulu, and they couldn't reproduce, and now we have this same thing being done today with the gene manipulation, and it's causing these women's cycles to be off. So yo, that's some real crazy shit, man. That really is. And I thought I'd share that with y'all, because I don't understand the logic of not wanting to look at certain things. Because now that, if you didn't know none of this, right, and then you're a sitting duck, putting your head in the sand and say, oh, I don't want to know that, that's terrible, it's terrible. Information isn't evil, negative or positive information. What you do with the information will determine whether the information is positive or negative. And now, by knowing data, by collecting data, you can then be more informed on the decisions that you're going to make for yourself. So you shouldn't turn away from anything, any kind of information. I know I don't. I take it all in. I don't look at it emotionally. I just take in all the information. I gather my data. I look for the patterns. You draw a hypothesis, theory, whole scientific method. That's how we should be going about things, and not being scared of it. You can't be scared of it. You got to go right into it, and that's how you're going to be able to protect yourself and protect your family. So enjoy your day. Be dangerous to those who threaten freedom. St. Peter Mount. Peace.